Today, I'm going to be learning how to do an advanced building technique called gradients. I've never been one to detail my base, and I'm going to be going from building things like this to things like this. Is my hardcore series, and today, we're starting on my permanent base. I'm going to have a hardcore series that kind of shows you more than most hardcore series really would. For example, the amount of resources and the amount of time it took those resources to get in order to make something. Terry, man, it's great being a squid, ain't it? It's alive, wouldn't you agree? Terry, no! Find me a fake squid wife and tell her I'm a fake lover! Like, for example, I had to spend, almost an hour collecting ink sacks. Just for the black dye for this. And I don't even know if it's gonna be enough. How do I say? I want to get the nether out of the way, but I said I want to show you more than most YouTubers show. I didn't say I'm gonna take as much time as they take. Roll the montage! Man, can you believe just how good of songs we never realized were actually this good? This is from Minecraft Story Mode, by the way. Anyway, first time ever having netherite in any survival, so that's pretty cool. As you can tell, I never got into a long-term world on Bedrock. YouTubers really skip over and never mention just how much time it really takes to get all of these resources. I spent hours getting all of this, so we got all this, and this is all for the base we're going to be building, and it's just so much stuff, dude. I guess we'll call it the books video. This nice little castle from the books video has really been a nice little starter base. I really like how this has come out and turned out. Goodness, it always feels weird packing up your first starter base to move to something bigger. Now, if you guys remember a part in the IKEA video, you will remember this amazing cave in here. The one that's super big, has a bunch of nice space in it. Looks really awesome, right? Now this by itself looks amazing. Like, fixing this up could be a future build that could be a thing. But there's something I didn't show you guys in that video, is that this area is just spectacularly amazing. I want to know what you guys think about what makes a good base area, but in my opinion, it's not just about where you build the base, but the area around where you build the base. If we fly this way, this is the main centerpiece of why I'm thinking about this as my main location. So, amazing looking mountain range, amazing looking lake area, villages, so I wouldn't have to transport villagers a long way. Right in the center of all this is this very interesting island that, with a little bit of terraforming, could be an amazing place for this build that I am thinking of, and the build that you have probably already seen in the thumbnail. A nice little area, just you get to see a bunch of mountains and plains, a bit of forest in the background. This view is just amazing, and this area right here, I feel, can be turned into something truly amazing. Now, there's a lot of different styles that you can play Minecraft in, and you can like playing in different play styles as well. Like, for example, I'm not much into redstoning, but I like PvP quite a bit. But in a survival world, I'd like to improve my building aspect. Now, there's 3 parts, in my opinion, that need to be improved in order to consider yourself getting better at building. Those 3 things would be detailing, interiors, and gradients. And today, I'm going to try and tackle gradients. I'm really trying to push myself out of my comfort zone with this hardcore series that I've never really attempted before, and I want to improve on my building. So we're going to start today with some gradients. And I guess the 4th one could be terraforming, because we're going to have to do a lot of terraforming for this. now that the basics are done, I'm really enjoying the shape of this island. I really like how this feels. Very nice. Little touch-ups to do everywhere, but the actual basics I love. And this will be the main centerpiece. I do have an interesting idea that I want to test out and see if it'll work here, but I think that this is a good spot to do this. And this is my first time doing gradients, and I spent like a solid week trying to learn how to do gradients. So, you know, hopefully this is I can manage to make this an okay first time gradient. But this is the gradient color of the main part of the build, and the secondary part of the build, which is going to be like up top, is going to be this palette. But this is the main one that we'll be working with right now. And it's going to be like a dark type of castle. Medieval type, I guess it would be. Like, I guess all castles are technically medieval, but... And then probably like a dark-ish village around the area. Kind of like a medieval village type setup. I'm not exactly sure on how the village is going to look yet, but I do have a good idea for this. This is going to be very interesting, I think. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I struggled with the palette of this castle quite a bit because I wanted to have this dark tone. I'm wanting it to start off very dark, so I made like 6 straight blocks of just black concrete and then started. So the way I've been learning gradients and trying to improve at this has been a lot through the Grian video on gradients. Very helpful. And a lot of trial and error. I tried for like 20 hours to do gradients, and most of them sucked, but then it kind of got to the point where I started learning how to actually do it. Now, learning which part of this palette I wanted to use in which way really was experimental. I wanted to incorporate the concrete powder to add a little bit of texturizing, but I really like the feel of going from black to gray on this part, and then on the next part it's going to go into a little bit more of a whitening. Now this build is a little homage to an older build that I made. It wasn't detailed at all. I never got around to finishing it. I was originally planning on putting like a village inside a 100 by 100 castle, but I decided instead to build the village outside and make it really feel like a medieval type area, and that's what I'm going for with this build. Now with these roofs, I really felt like spruce was the best option, made it pop, but then comes in the detailing aspect of what I'm trying to do, and I really wanted to put some like stripped wood, slabs, trapdoors. I really wanted stuff to break it up. And here we go. Stage 1 of the build is done at least. This looks so neat flying in. Oh, I love it. With this little darker tone at the bottom, I really wanted to have like this castle vibe of like trying to keep people out with these iron bars, and then as it goes up top, I think I'm going to use glass, so it has like more of a, you know, once you're past the defenses, it feels more at home, I guess. And yes, I even have done the back. It's amazing. Decided to use like deep slate bricks and tiles to add to this because it really adds to this dark tone. It has a little gateway. I think it really fits well with this build palette. Something I wasn't expecting whenever I first started, but this really does feel nice. I'm not sure if I'll keep this exactly, but I do like how this feels. This is going to be mainly so that mobs can't go in because there's multiple layers of carpet, but the interior is obviously not done. But I feel like we have quite a bit of space to work with. I'm not exactly sure on what I'm going to do with the interior exactly. That's going to be a process for future Jake to deal with, because goodness, I am still very much learning interiors. I went ahead and put the roof on. Right now it's spruce, but I'm not sure if I'll change that in the final thing. In the middle of this is going to be like another kind of tower that uses the build palette down there as more of a base-like area, I guess it would be. Now the gradient really makes this feel like it's bigger than it actually is. Like, I wanted it to be I think I've picked a pretty good size for this build, just because it's big enough that you feel its presence, but it's also small enough that you could still fit other things in here. But I really feel like the area of this really is a nice area. I was thinking originally about maybe going, you know, more into the lighter colors, but I really like the black to gray of this. It really feels nice. Really feels like that castle vibe, and then on top is where it's really going to be neat. I'm not sure if I should add another window like down here or something, like another set of iron bars down here. I don't know if that will mix with the interior very well, but obviously there's only one on this side because of the gate. But the other sides just kind of feel... I mean, they look amazing. I don't want to say they feel empty, but I tried adding another set of windows, and it just didn't really feel right. So I don't know... I think maybe once we get, like, a village connecting to this, maybe it'll feel more filled, but I don't know what to put here, really. I think that's going to be all the building for this episode specifically, though, because I'll have to wait to do the top for the next episode, because that's going to be a whole different thing. I really want to get this interior done, along with the interior up top, so I can actually make this a full-on base and have somewhere to put all my junk. But I think that's going to be it for this video, so thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.